Shalom, Grand Rising, OCO, Halito. Welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. I am your brother Dayala. I want to give all honor and praises to the God of Israel. I also want to give recognition to the Holy Spirit and recognition to Yahushai. Many salutes, much love, much ahab to you brothers and sisters who are keeping the will of our God to the best of your abilities. So with that being said, welcome to the video. Also, before I get into this video, I do want to ask that you guys please send up righteous prayers of healing for our sister Simone and all others out there who need healing physically and spiritually. You know, those who are, who are doing the will of our God to the best of their abilities. You know. So, with that being said, I want to get into the video. So, yes, this video is going to be about the Kyrie Irving and Kanye situation. Just my opinion on it, my 2 cents. And, yeah, essentially that. So, like usual, you know, I'm making these recordings in the truck. I'm at the job. And I'm being live loaded, so you're gonna hear, you know, sounds in the background. But anyway, so I wanted to give my 2 cents about this Kyrie Irving situation. You know, honestly, with Kanye and Kyrie, they're right. You know, now, I'm not saying that I agree with everything that is said by the both of them. However, they are right in a sense of that we are the children of Israel. And sorry for chewing this candy. I'm trying to finish this candy that I have in my mouth. But yeah, they're correct in the sense that we are the children of Israel. Actually, we are. But no, we shouldn't have any shame to it. And, you know, I don't agree with everything they said, but we are the children of Israel. We are, quote unquote, God's chosen people. We are the chosen people of the God of Israel. Because we are the quote unquote Israelites of the Bible. We lost our identity over the centuries. We lost who we are. You know. The thing is that Kanye and Kyrie aren't being punished for being anti-Semitic because they can't be anti-Semitic. The same people who are the controllers of this society, they know who we are. They know we can't be anti-Semitic because they know we are Shemites, right? What they're punishing Kyrie and Kanye for is simply being a so-called black man who wants to share the truth not only to their people but to the world. They're being punished for sharing the truth, you know. And what they're trying to do now, there are theories out there. There's several different theories on why, you know, this situation has ballooned to the situation that it is now, you know, with them talking about it all the time. I mean, it's everywhere in the media. And it's so funny because what they're talking about, both Kyrie and Kanye, has nothing to do with the areas in which, you know, people would usually ask them questions about. Kanye deals in music and fashion. Kyrie deals in the sports arena, right? But you have people in both those fields, you know, the music entertainment industry, and also another part of the entertainment industry, sports, You have them asking them questions about their personal beliefs, and it's like, I think that's really wildly inappropriate. You're asking Kyrie, is he anti-Semitic, when you should be asking him about how his game went, right? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But like I said, people have their theories. Some people think, and I'm gonna say this before I, go into the theories. Everything that we see on television, everything that we hear on radio, I'm not gonna say everything, but majority of the stuff we see on TV and majority of the stuff that we see on the radio is meant for us to ingest. It's meant for us to hear. It's meant for us to see. Okay? Especially when it's blown up to the size that it is right now. There's a reason why they're talking about it all of the time. Now, some people have their speculations. Some people say, oh, the reason why they're talking about it all the time is because they want people to see the Hebrew Israelite movement. They want it to be the buzzword, Hebrew Israelites or Black Israelites, so that they can go online and they can see, the so-called Hebrew Israelites, but not in a good light. And, and to give, the whole Hebrew Israelite a negative image. And me personally, I don't necessarily agree that is the end game to this, because look, the controllers, they can have their plans, but at the end of the day, the only plan that matters is the God of Israel's plans, right? The God of Israel is the one who controls all this. They may think that they're going to do one thing, but the Most High, our God, the God of Israel, he can make it have an end result that's totally different than what they expected. We need to stop giving so much power to these people. Yes, they have a whole lot of power, but remember, the God of Israel at the end of the day controls all of this. They can't go further than what he will allow. So, honestly, if people think that this is going to bring more eyes to the whole Hebrew Israelite thing, I do agree with that. But honestly, to make us look bad, we don't need Kanye to do that, right? We don't need Hebrews and Negroes to do that. We don't need that book or documentary to do that, right? Like some people are speculating. Honestly, all you have to do is just go out to a street corner, in New York. All you have to do is just turn on a video of so-called Hebrew Israelites camps, and they'll do a good enough job on their own. I mean, we don't need help making ourselves look bad with all this infighting that we're doing. Standing on the street corners, calling our sisters names, calling them bitches, calling them dogs, calling them all types of, crazy names, coming at our brothers crazy, fighting people on the street corners. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Brothers getting caught up in bars where you have half naked women running around. We don't need, we don't need the controllers to do anything. Sure, this may bring more people who weren't aware of us and, to check us out, but to make us look bad, though, no, because we already do a good enough job at making ourselves look bad. I don't care what anybody says. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the brothers out here, they lack Christ's Hamashiach spirit, which is the not only, see, a lot of our brothers and sisters are like, oh yeah, Hamashiach's coming back with a sword. He ain't here with the sword yet. Before he left, he didn't have the sword. He was feeding the flock. He was feeding the flock. That's what he was doing before. And he was showing us, leaving us the blueprint on how to feed the flock while he's gone. But you got too many brothers and sisters out here who are too busy coming with the sword, and they don't realize this ain't the time for the sword. Just like we read in Psalms. There's a season for everything, but this ain't the season for the sword. Yet we got brothers and sisters out here with the sword going hard. You know what I'm saying? Sakari, the group, they're out here with the sword so heavy that they always, every time when they're debating people, they say, oh yeah, they put a dagger in them. That's the type of spirit that they're on. That's a Pharisee type spirit. And a lot of these brothers and sisters who call themselves Hebrew Israelites, they're going to have a rude awakening when they pass over. They're going to have a rude awakening when they stand before the Most High. Because a lot of them, they lack the key principles that Hamashiach was teaching. Because we put so much emphasis on the law, but if you pay attention to what Hamashiach was teaching you, if you keep those principles, you're keeping the law, which is love, compassion, mercy, which are characteristics that our God has. And if we love our God, love our people, then guess what? We're keeping all those laws. We're keeping all those laws. And I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect, because none of us are perfect, but you're going to keep those laws. You see what I'm saying? So, going back to my main point, our brothers and sisters, they're super bruised, and they lack that compassion for our people, the love for our people. They're just out here fulfilling their own pride. And a lot of these brothers and sisters out here today who call themselves Hebrew Israelites are nothing more than carnal people. They're nothing more than Pharisees, and we don't need anyone else to make us look bad, because there's a lot of people out here who believe we're the Rev 2939s, right? Revelations 2939s, because of the type of image that a lot of our brothers put out here. Not all of us are like that, but the ones who are seen are the ones who are like that for the most part. So that's unfortunate, but that's the truth. So I don't think that, they're making the situation that big so that we can look bad, you know what I'm saying? Because we do a good enough job doing that on our own, but I do believe that they're using that to put more attention on the Hebrew Israelite situation, and not in a good way, because nothing these controllers do ultimately is good. But this whole situation with Kanye and Kyrie is pretty sad, because at the end of the day, they prove Kanye right. I mean, they proved Kanye right that, hey, this certain group of people, they have all this power, and if you step out of line, they punish you. And they did exactly what he said. They did exactly what he said, but yet what he said is anti-Semitic. Okay, well, what about anti-us? The real Jews, the real Hebrew Israelites. What about us? What about anti-us? Because whatever we do, whenever we speak any truth, all of society likes to come down on us and treat us as if we are the criminals. I mean, Kyrie, all he did was just post a link, and now they're coming down on his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's absolute crazy, But I don't know why they're blowing this up at the end of the day. Like, I don't know exactly what their plans are, But they are definitely doing it for a reason. They're definitely doing it for a reason, Because they are definitely putting a lot of focus on, that documentary and / book, Hebrews to Negroes. And some people think it's psyop, and I do agree that it's psyop to a certain level, because you have everybody talking about it. And the funny thing is that the main people who are talking about Hebrews and Negroes, the main people who are talking about it, saying that they bought the book, or they're buying the book, or they're going to watch the documentary, or they have watched the documentary, are people who already call themselves Hebrew Israelites, And the reason why I think it's a psyop is because, and for people who don't know, psyop is called psychological operations, which is something, a tactic that the military would use on, their ops, if you will, or even the citizens, their own citizens, or the citizens of their opposition, right? And it's to get people to think a certain way or to operate a certain way, right? Well, I do believe that this is a psyop to a degree because, like I said, the main people who are talking about this book and, saying they're going to read it, they're going to buy it, they're going to watch the documentary are people who already call themselves Hebrew Israelites. And to me, that's very weird because, you're already a so-called Hebrew Israelite now, and then on top of that, this book slash documentary, it doesn't have groundbreaking information in it. It doesn't. The information that they share in that book you can literally find in a Google search, and that's no shade to the brother. I've watched the documentary, and I even heard of the book, and I've heard of the documentary before I even watched it. And people said that wasn't that great, and I checked it out just to see how it was. It's not that great. It's not great at all. It's not even groundbreaking. I mean, I've seen better documentaries. This brother, he raised $75,000 for that documentary, and it looked no different than the trailer. I mean, it was exactly the same as a 13-minute trailer that he released. So whether or not he used that money for the documentary, I don't know, because the documentary definitely don't look like a $75,000 documentary at all. I've seen better documentaries on YouTube. I shit you not. So to me, it does feel like a psyop because, there's no groundbreaking information in there for Hebrew Israelites, people who've known who they were for, a year to a couple years or several years. It's weird for them to be like, oh yeah, this book is so great. And yet there's no new information in there. Some of the information is misinformation. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the whole Africa and the African slave trade thing. If you watch my channel, or if the Most High is working with you in that area to know where your lands truly are, you know that Africa is a whole entire hijack, So, yeah, there's nothing groundbreaking in that book at all, or in the documentary. I haven't read, the book, but the documentary is based off the book, and there's no groundbreaking information in there, and the documentary is poorly made. It's a poorly made documentary. So I don't understand why people are raving about it so hard. That's why I do believe that it is a psyop, with this whole situation, the Hebrews and Negroes. But shout out to the brother though. What he is doing is good, for people who don't know who we are, because, even though I do believe there's misinformation in there, I don't think that he's intentionally putting that misinformation in there. He's just regurgitating the same bullshit history that we've been taught in school, and I actually met the brother years ago in Cincinnati. But yeah, there's nothing amazing in that documentary, and he did make a press release just, I think, yesterday, responding to the whole Kyrie Irving situation. I really like the way he responded. But yeah, no shade to the brother at all. I like what he's doing. He found his truth, or he found some truth, and he wanted to share that with his people, and it's essentially the same thing that Kyrie Irving and Kanye did. And we have, other entertainers who have done the same thing, where they found out who we were, they were excited about it, and they shared it, and they got in trouble about it, But, I also watch this brother named Dimitri Milligan, a brother who I've met before. Very passionate brother, man. I really love, how that brother operates, because he reminds me of how we should be, rather than just talking, we should be doers. And I agree with his position, his stance on the whole Kyrie Irving situation. And I didn't always feel that way about this situation, but I do agree with him in the sense that, I think that Kanye and Kyrie would have done much greater things had they been quiet about this whole entire thing. Had they stayed quiet about it. Because, see, they have so much influence. They have such a huge platform that they could have done a lot with what they had, with the money they have. While someone like me, I don't have that much to lose when it comes to other brothers and sisters who could be out here teaching and preaching and even out here doing that. Some of them have nothing to lose, so leave that to the brothers and sisters out here on the street corners. The whole teaching and spreading the music, the gospel. I was about to say music. Spreading the gospel. I mean, the gospel is music to our ears. But yeah, spreading the gospel. Leave that to the brothers and sisters like us who really don't have that whole platform, that entire empire that they have to lose. Leave it to us. Don't do it. What they should be doing is moving in silence. Take those millions and billions of dollars and invest it in your people behind the scenes. Let's stop being talkers about this and let's be doers. Let's be doers. Just like, the book of James says, what does it profit man to, what does it say? I'm just paraphrasing. But it says, what does it profit to tell a man, to give a man, tell him to be warm and to send him on his way when you don't give him anything that pertains to the body? That's what a lot of our people do. We just sit here and we just preach and teach, but we don't actually show these people. We don't live by our words, right? We tell, hey, you should be doing this, you should love your brother, you should do this and that, but most of us aren't actually out here displaying that type of love. Most of us ain't helping our brothers and sisters out. I'm not saying that you have to go out here and open up a food line and stuff like that, but even giving where you can. We have brothers and sisters out here who are in this walk, who call themselves Hebrew Israelites, who know these laws, and they'll see a brother on the street corner hungry, not even give him money. And I understand that a lot of us don't have cash on us nowadays, but you can easily walk into a store, pull five, go to the cash register or go to self-checkout and pull some money off, or go to the bank, tell the brother, hold on, I'll be back. Or even if you ain't got that, be like, hey, I'll take you over here to this fast food restaurant. What do you want? But we don't even do that nowadays. But that's what Kyrie should be doing, I feel, in Kanye. Don't talk about it. Work your magic behind the scenes. And I'm not saying that they haven't done anything, but they'd be better off using the type of power they have behind the scenes. But it's sad that they have to operate like that. It's sad that, they're essentially like, they're slaves. I mean, we're all slaves to a certain degree, but it's crazy because they're slaves. They're literally slaves. And they can't do nothing about it. And I think Kyrie is realizing how much of a slave he is. Like I said, the interviewers, they're up here asking him questions that have nothing to do with sports. And he's like, can you ask me something about the game? And they just kept pressing for an apology, which is just so weird. So weird. Like, why are y'all trying so damn hard to get this apology out of him? Why are y'all trying so damn hard? It's like if he apologized, now they're replenished. That's like the secret thing he needs to do in order for them to steal his soul and to replenish themselves. It's weird. Because it's like they were begging, in a sense, for him to apologize. I mean, just absolutely crazy, in my opinion. And, I was very disappointed because the brother did apologize, on social media, which is very, very demoralizing, I'm sure, for many people, and upsetting and disappointing. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was disappointed when I found out that he apologized, because he was so strong on his stance on what he said and not apologizing. Yet, he bent the knee and fell on his own sword. That's how I feel with him apologizing. Now, say if he had apologized sooner, it wouldn't have felt the same way because, you expect that out of our people when they, go off, if they step out of tune from what their controllers want, they usually apologize real soon. But he was adamant on not apologizing. He was standing strong. He said he had an army behind him. So I was hoping that he had a plan in place. But no, ultimately, at the end of the day, he bent the knee on his own sword. And, that's just very, very disappointing. With him being resistant as long as he was, he should not have apologized, in my opinion. He should have stood on his square. And see, a lot of our people, I watched Dane Calloway's video yesterday, and essentially what Dane was saying was that, there's no support. Our people are not supporting, Kyrie Irving, which is the reason why he apologized. But I disagree. I don't think the problem is that we don't support our people like that, our celebrities. I do believe that we do need to step it up, more than what we have in the past. But this is the thing, though. I think our celebrities have to be able to trust us and to ask us for support, because a lot of people, a lot of so-called Black Americans, we support Kyrie Irving and what he said. You know what I'm saying? Even Kanye. And I know that if Kyrie Irving had publicly asked for support from the Black community, to boycott and to even like donations and stuff like that to help him financially, since they took money from him, since they took deals from him, I know that we would gladly do so. But see, our celebrities don't give us that opportunity to help them. They don't. And that's the problem. It's a give and take relationship. You can't solely rely on the community to have to step up to the plate. A lot of these celebrities have to step up to the plate also. So it's really disappointing, like I said, with Kyrie, bending the knee to them to his own detriment on his own sword. Because now, in some people's eyes, he invalidates everything that he stood for. And I agree that he does give off that image of invalidating what he stands for, because if you truly believe in something, you don't just give in, because it's like, now what's more important to you? What you believe, or your money, or your fame, or whatever it is that you value that they're going to take away from you? And to me, and probably many other people, is that, whatever it was for him was more valuable than telling the truth. And I know that he wants to tell truth, but he put himself in a tough situation. And as far as he went, he should have stood on that, because I do believe had he asked for our support, he would have gotten it, because he did nothing wrong. All he did was share a tweet, and they're trying to, or a link on his Instagram or Twitter, and they're trying to say that he's anti-Semitic. How, just because you share something does not mean that you're anti-Semitic. I mean, people share, a lot of these media outlets share Trump's tweets, books, all types of stuff, right? But did that mean that they all agreed with Trump? No. I mean, people voted for Joe Biden, but does that mean that they agree with everything he says? They may share his speech. They may share, a lot of stuff. These media outlets share, these these politician streams. I mean, right now it's voting season, where these politicians are literally paying these news networks and channels to advertise, their campaigns. Does that mean that they all agree with these these politicians, when some of these politicians have dirt on them, have terrible past and history and record? You know what I'm saying? Like, No, they don't. They will easily say, "No, we don't. We're just doing it because we get paid." So why is it that Kyrie, just because he shared a link that he's anti-Semitic and that he automatically believes everything, he agrees with everything that that book and documentary has to say? They know it's bullshit and they know it's true. It's like talking to a baby, but see, these are adults. They know this because they're humans just like he is. But they're coming down hard on him because he is speaking the truth. He's speaking the truth. And I think it's also because of who he is as a person, a so-called Hebrew Israelite male. That's why. A so-called African American. That's why. You know, but also I believe too, the reason why they're coming down so hard on him is because they don't want us to wake up as a people, and they're scared. You know, I truly believe that they are afraid of us waking up because they know when we wake up, you know, and prophecy is being fulfilled, they know that their time is up and they're trying to do whatever they can to slow, because they know we've been awakening for a while. They know prophecy is happening, and what they're trying to do is their best to delay it. But they can't stop the Most High from moving. You know, he's moving. I don't know how fast the Most High is moving, but he's moving. You know, he's moving back into our favor, and they can't stop it, but they're afraid. But honestly, you know, I do feel that they're using this situation to further their agenda, because I do believe, I do get a feeling that, you know, this Kanye thing, the only reason, I do feel like the reason why they're highlighting this situation, the Kanye, the Kyrie, even they're talking about Ice Cube a little bit, and all the so-called African Americans that they call anti-Semitic. I do believe the reason why they're highlighting this is for multiple reasons, but maybe one of the main reasons is so that they can silence the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. Because think about this. We know they run everything. They run all communications and all forms of network. I mean, media, right? They're probably going to blow, probably not this situation, but other situations up so bad about this anti-Semitism that they're probably going to make it illegal, or not illegal, but they're probably going to make it, they're probably going to ban that type of talk on the internet in general. Remember back, remember back in, I believe it was like 2019 or 20, I want to say 2019. It was either 2018 or 2019 where they banned all conspiracy theory channels and videos on YouTube because they said that it was dangerous. I think they're going to try to do the same thing with the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. Because remember how they kept saying how Kyrie has caused a lot of damage and what he was talking about was dangerous and all this stuff. I think that they're setting it up so that they can ban anything that's associated with Hebrew Israelites on the internet. Because as you see, they're left and right just censoring shit. You know, like I said, years ago they censored the whole conspiracy theory channels and what's it called, but you know, those videos and channels started to pop back up because they really can't control everything. But the thing is that a lot of those channels and videos get flagged pretty often, you know. And then what, last year they banned Trump from Twitter and all this stuff, right? They censored him. They censored the president of the United States. That's how powerful the controllers are. And I'm not saying that Trump may not be part of the controllers, right? But it's all setting up for censorship. And I think the main reason why they need censorship is to shut us down, to try to keep us from spreading the gospel. of who we truly are and who our God is. I do believe that this is one of the main reasons why they are allowing this situation to balloon to the size that it is and making it seem more serious than what it is, you know. But yeah, those are just my thoughts, my opinions. I do wish that Kyrie and Kanye did it a little differently. Who knows? Maybe Kanye and Kyrie are controlled opposition. They could very well be controlled opposition. I'm always having my head on a swivel, always looking, to see if I can find some glitches in the matrix. But yeah, I just say, just pray, fast, ask for understanding and guidance in this situation. I mean, just in every situation, because a lot of games are out here being played, and you want to make sure that you're not the one being played for real. But yeah, I do believe, that there's many reasons why they're allowing this to happen, but none of them are good. But that doesn't mean that our God won't allow this situation at the end of the day to be of greater good, But yeah, watch out for the controlled oppositions out here because they got them. Tariq Nasheed, aka Marcus Sanders, he's definitely controlled opposition. He had his march just a few days ago. I think day before yesterday. I think either Saturday or Sunday. He had his march down there in D.C. Literally doing the same thing that he criticized other people about marching, having rallies. That's the same damn thing. Marches and rallies are essentially the same thing. Because people literally have marches where they go to rally. Like, it's the same thing. I mean, marching is you're marching. Rallies is that you're usually gathered at a certain point. But it's the same thing. All they do is just talk. That's all they do is just talk. And see, that's what, Dimitri Milligan was talking about, is that they just talk. They just talk. And we need to stop talking. But I do feel that Tariq Nasheed is controlled opposition just because his real name is not Tariq Nasheed. If people don't know, his true name is Marcus Sanders. And he's so secretive about his past, why he went from Detroit to Alabama. You find out when you do research, you find out that his father he actually comes from money. His dad was a big businessman. His dad is a business owner. And Tariq allegedly he murdered someone. Now I'm not sure if if he's guilty, if he's wrong or anything like that. Give me a second. Yeah, I gotta wrap it up just because they downloaded me. But yeah, check that guy out. There's a guy, his name is Taharka El Bay. Check him out. He has a video diving into Tariq's past, pulling up receipts and everything like that. But, the reason why I bring up Tariq Nasheed is because anytime when they're talking about, Jews and how these fake Jews around the world and stuff like that, he don't want to talk about it. And that's because I truly believe that he is controlled opposition. And there's a lot of them out there. And, Kanye and Kyrie can very well be controlled opposition. Who knows? But anyways, guys, I got to get up out of here. Y'all take care. I love y'all. May the power of Israel bless you all. Shalom.